Webheads, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. I'm your host, Mike Spider Slayer. Guys, we're getting ready to talk about a book that I feel like was a little bit overshadowed this past comic book week because we had the release of a ton of books and we had the release of two major books, which was Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 and The Death of Justice League issue 75. I even didn't talk about this book yet, and I wanted to make a separate video just for this book because I want to find out your guys' opinion on this comic book. What did you think about The Last Ronin, right? I mean, this thing took over a year to come out with all the 5 issues that came out with it, but did you think that this was the greatest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story ever read? I mean, when issue 1 came out, everyone was anticipating this book, and that issue 1 made a huge impression to the comic book community out there and couldn't wait to get to issue 2. However, this series was plagued by delays and people got weary of, waiting for this book and said, I'm not going to read it until I get the final issue. Well, the final issue has finally come out. Did you guys get a chance to read it? Now, I just want to let you know there are going to be some spoilers in this review. So if you have not read issue 5, I suggest that you do not watch this video. And if you haven't read the story yet, don't watch this either because I'm definitely going to spoil what's going on here. So come back when you read the story. Okay. Couple questions here now when it comes to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Again, was this your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story that you ever read? For me, I feel like this was up there. I loved seeing this desolate world, like world controlled by Shredder's grandson or whatnot, and I loved seeing a much older Michelangelo, the one that survived out of all the turtles here, and how he evolved as a character. I loved seeing all that. And my curiosity here was, how is this whole thing going to end? And will this actually continue going forward? And by the time you wind up getting to the last page of this book, you're like, oh wow, is this actually going to happen? So let's talk about this book just a little bit. The art has always been really consistent when it's come to this book. Looks solid. I mean, the one thing that's been plaguing this book the entire time it's been coming out is the delays. They have took way too long in between issues before this book has come out. That's why I suggest just read it all at once you got issue 5. But when you read this issue, my gosh, there was a lot of intense action in this book. There was a lot of heart in this book. And by the time you got to the end of this issue, you basically had a tear coming from your eye, especially if you have any kind of attachment when it comes to the Turtles and Michelangelo, especially because the dude is a lovable character, right? I mean, a lot of us know him from the old days where he loves to eat pizza, and to see him become like an adult, the responsible one to save everybody was heartbreaking at the end to see him actually die, right? And I made this point when I read the Justice League book. I said, when there's a death, there has to be some kind of meaning behind it. There's got to be, I feel like, a buildup to make you feel something inside. We got that. I'll throw this out there for The Walking Dead when Glenn died. You saw how important that character was in that series, and he got killed by Negan, and you just could not believe there was a death. It was just very emotional, right? In this book, we get to see, obviously, Michelangelo sacrifice himself or to save everybody else in his group, to save Casey and April and everybody else, and for this world to live again. And it was very honorable for, obviously, Michelangelo to do all that, right? So when I read this book and I found out that Michelangelo died at the end, it just, was definitely, I definitely was upset and shed a tear. So I really love the heart of this book. That's what made this book for me the most. And by the time you do get to the true end of this book, you get to see Michelangelo reunite in a much peaceful place with his brothers, which again was very heartwarming. It pulled at the heartstrings a little bit too, but you appreciated those moments. And you wind up seeing Casey, which was Casey's daughter, right? You wind up seeing her have 4 new turtles, and she's like, would you guys grow up already? And you're thinking, oh my God, is this series going to be continued? And are we going to get new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to work with the female Casey? I don't know. That is time will tell there. And the cool thing is are these going to be new turtles or are these going to be clones? I don't think these are going to be clones. I think these are going to be a completely different turtles if we do get a second volume to this. What really made this book also for me was the action. The action between the modern day Shredder and old man Michelangelo was a battle to be seen. Every panel had tons of action, and seeing Shredder's new suit was so badass. And you know what this book reminded me of when they were doing this battle? It reminded me of Terminator 2. Shredder has this liquid metal suit where it gets damaged and then it winds up healing. So well done here. And again, the action, the pacing, everything about this book was so well done. Overall, when I think about it, I feel like this is one of the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books that I have ever read. And I would love to see another volume of this. I don't know how they would do it. Yes, you would get introduced to 4 new turtles, as you got to see in that last page. But what enemies would arise from this? Because obviously we got to see Shredder's grandson die. So who's left now, right? I don't know. I guess time will tell. But again, guys, I want to know in the comments below, is this the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story that you have ever read? Or did it kind of, I guess, sour your thoughts about this story because of how long it took in between the issues? Or if there is another story that you really enjoyed, I want to know in the comments below. There's lots of stories, right? There's the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's Tales of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the first few issues, like 1 through 5. When that first came out, that was absolutely outstanding. There's so many stuff. There's stuff that was released from Image as well. So again, guys, I want to hear all your thoughts. I want to know your thought process here at the end of the day when it comes to The Last Ronin. If I had to grade this book, when I look at star value or number rating, I would say I give this book probably a 4.5 out of 5-star book. This was a really good book. They spent a little too much time trying to, fix water pumps, which I thought was a little bit boring, but that's just me nitpicking at the book. Overall, great book, 8 out of 10 if you want to give it a number rating, but this is something I definitely recommend you guys checking out if you haven't yet, and go back and read the other first 4 issues and then read this, and then you'll get a real true appreciation of this story. So again, guys, leave me all those comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell. I'll leave you more content right here for comics that are getting ready to come out very soon. And of course, guys, keep buying, keep collecting, but most importantly, keep reading your comics. Guys, thank you so much. I'll see you real soon. Have a great weekend.